Lloyd Vehicle Consulting. Still not sponsored by Lancaster Insurance. Maybe one day. Good morning. Today is the 22nd of March, and this is part 2 of a Slightly Shambolic Shuffle around the 2024 Practical Classics Classic Car and Restoration Show here at the NEC at Birmingham. We're inside the Classic Car Auctions preview. We've made a start on that and some other things, but we shall continue. I do apologise if I fall over, if I get things wrong, if I get interrupted by announcements, which happened in the last part. If I get things wrong, which happens all the time, I'm afraid it's just the way it goes on this channel. I'm afraid, just like the Council of Birmingham and the Mayor of London have said, we don't talk about diesels on this channel, which will become very clear very shortly. 1979 Range Rover 3-door Suffix G. Still got the really old style headlamps on this. You've still got the front ones with quarter lights. It's only a 3-door. It is interesting. I think this maybe doesn't have the hose down interior that some of the earlier ones did, but it looks pretty solid to me. There's a lot more of these Range Rovers actually around. Another part of the auction, it's a massive auction showing multiple parts just in this bit. Something even more massive is this Ford pickup. This is an F-150 Harley Davidson edition, which is bizarre. It's a 2002, estimate £15,000 to £18,000, 5.4 litre supercharged V8, 340 horsepower, and dark shadow grey. It's not really my kind of thing, viewers, but I mean it'll do. And we'll be just walking down this row here because we can't talk about any of those. Thank you, Mayor of London and Council Leader of Birmingham and all your friends with all your ultra-low emission and clean air zones. Don't approve of that, but we've got to abide by the rules, and so we keep walking down this line until we find something we can talk about. Oh, this'll do. 1982 Land Rover Series0 twin cab with the 2.25 petrol engine in these. I have driven a Series0. It was a Series0 lightweight from 1979, and it wasn't very comfortable, viewers. Fortunately, it was kind of fun, but not very comfortable. Yeah, 82 is the same. No, it's a little bit older than me. If I was a car, I'd be a Y. Factory built twin crew cab, a long-term sympathetic restoration, £25,000 to £30,000. What if we can? Oh, we can't do that. Never mind. Okay, no, can't do that either. Obviously knew I was coming, and so locked the cars up completely, so they don't approve of my methods. Whoops, crashed into the door there, viewers. Always a possibility of danger. So this is a lightweight, isn't it? It's all specced up. Problem with a lightweight is you see where the dials are in that one, and you compare it with where they are in that one. You have to keep looking down to the left. It's not the most comfortable thing I've ever driven. Yeah, it's the 74, this one, with some impressive looking aerials on it. Oh my god! Oh, that's the end of it. Wow, that's crazy. Okay, fitted for radio. 12 to 15,000. I prefer this personally. This 1964 MG 1100 with 12,000 miles on the clock, 10 to 12,000, like so many cars in here. I don't know whether these had brake servos in them. I think we're still on the non-synchro first gear in these, but certainly the Aston 1100 for 64 that I drove in 2022 didn't have a synchrometrical first or disc or a brake servo. You kind of don't need them if driving slowly though, and they are nice. Helios 16s are very nice cars to drive actually. I've driven 2 of them and they're fantastic. 1947 Jagua 2.5 litre Saloon. It's a Mark IV. Yes, it was. £20,000 to £25,000. I don't know if is that about right for one of these. I don't know. It's not quite my kind of thing, something like this. It's a little bit too old and difficult to drive, but it's very handsome. In fact, is this another No, it's a different type of car entirely, isn't it? We just kind of look from a similar era. Probably aren't. Let's go around to the front. That's probably a better idea. 1937 MGSA Charlesworth Open Tourer, estimate 35 to 40,000 pounds. 300 some new, first being the Tarzan stuntman Gerald Gore. It's been removed for safekeeping. Yeah, that's probably quite sensible, actually. Then we can move on to 1920 HHN Series0 Super 6 Raceabout. This car is 104 years old, which is absolutely insane. So it's been rebodied recently. Be careful when you're getting in and out of that exhaust. That's going to absolutely burn you if you're and like Sir Henry Birkin. Which won't be good. I mean, I don't know what to make of it, really. I mean, it's interesting to sort of take to shows and things. Another interesting thing here, Buick. 52 Buick Super Convertible, 25 to 28,000 pounds. A fixture of West London society, apparently. Can't say I've ever seen it myself, but there we go. Interesting placement for the number plate on this 62 Ford Consul Mark II convertible. Can't remember who the convertible would have been for this one. Registered originally in Southampton. CR is an old Southampton plate. Again, it's not perfect, but be very good to take it to shows and things, wouldn't it? Rather like for the last two. This is more sort of me, though. I love the way the doors on these open and close. It's very careful not to hit that Ford console. Such a lovely action. Someone has obviously engineered that really well. 64 Bentley S3 Saloon, one of the last ones. The Silver Shadow came up with it next year. 22 to 25,000 pounds. They're just not as expensive as you'd imagine them to be for a car like this. If it would be T1 or C2, it'd be even less. But yeah, that's pretty good. 1968 Daimler V8 250 Saloon with a manual overdrive gearbox. Those of you familiar with the Auto Alex channel would have seen one of these in very, very poor condition. They're actually often not worth restoring, but this one looks fantastic. 10 to 12,000 pounds. Very, very nice condition. There's a bit of information sheet here. Oh, gosh. Bare metal respray, new under wheel spats, underbody installation, master cylinder, 5 new tyres, retro radio, battery, fog lights, total respray, rear bumper re-chromed, rear lights re-chromed, brakes overhaul, coolant sensor, brake servo tank replaced, new cross member, both wheel arches repaired, near side jacking point, near side lever panel, respray front of the car, offside jacking point replaced. You see, people love these, even if the cost of restoration can be extremely prohibitive. That looks rather nice. I prefer actually this though, this Series 1 XJ6 4.2 litre. I like Daimler badge cars, but I imagine this is just to be a little bit easier to drive and live with. Quite late for XJ6, 1973, last year for them. British Racing Green and manual gearbox. Mr. Coleman, a rubbish mechanic, will be all over this. Love stuff like this. And I understand why. Moving on, MGA. 1959 MGA 1600 twin cam. Relatively late for one of these. 32 to 36,000. The twin cam ones really felt much more than the standard ones. Maybe if they're a bit like this, then they are. Right-hand drive twin cam, well known and magazine featured. Oh yes, well there is a magazine. Oh my gosh, it's a really old one, September 95. I probably bought that issue back in the day when I was a child. I'd say I recognise that particular one, but you know, maybe I'm not familiar with the scene. Earlier MGA here, lot number 107. It's 1500, so it's an early one, 50 to 18,000 pounds. So big difference in price, actually. Big difference in price.
My friend.
Mitsubishi Starion. Oh yes, please. That registration is a private one. It's got absolutely nothing to do with the age of the car. Is this a turbo by any chance, viewers? Oh my gosh! Not only am I wrong about it, you know, I'm right being a turbo. This is actually a Chrysler Conquest. It's the Mopar version of the Starion. I've never seen one of these before. I've seen Starions before. It's a bit weird like that without a Mitsubishi badge on it. 10 to 12,000 pounds. Interesting. Right. Then next, is this a real one? No, it's a replica. Okay, never mind. It's probably a bit more practical than the real one. 1968 Porsche 718 RSK Spider replica. Is that based on a Beetle chassis then or something? A lot of them are. Probably is. It looks a bit tight in there though for, you know, these sort of larger than average sized gentlemen. Ooh, it's an early MGB this with the pull door handles. 62. That is very early. Tartan red. 13 to 15,000. Excellent. You can buy an MGB for obviously way less than that, but it's very nice. 78 Stag. So this is one of the very last. It registered the year after production finished in 77. Mark II 3-litre auto. 10 to 12,000 pounds. You can buy them for less, probably about the amount that the car I drove last year was worth. A Stag at 72, or possibly more actually, that one. Yeah, I don't like though that it's got the silver and black plate. It really shouldn't have those on it, but never mind. What is this huge thing here? It's very sort of royal, isn't it? Nice automatic gearbox in that. Daimler, yeah, so very royal. 39 Daimler DE27. Potentially a very significant car in the history of both Daimler and British Admiralty. First of its kind limousine. May have been converted to the first Lord of the Admiralty himself. 50 to 20. I mean, it needs a restoration, that, but I mean, that is just magnificent. Ports of registration on this 1975 Rover 3500S. Yeah, Hampton Constabulary, so that makes sense. And Lord Mountbatten. It's just staff car. Abandoned in a piggery and finally sympathetically restored and back in uniform. 15 to 20,000 pounds, 75. So relatively late for a P6. The SD1 came out in the spring of 76, so relatively late for one of those. Another MGC, let's get this right. Obviously based on the MGB. This is either an older restoration or something like that. Yeah, the paint's not great on this. Can't see much rust though. Original UK supplied MGC automatic offered at a sensible price, just 10 to 12,000 pounds. Suppose that's sensible. Series 3 E-Type, I've driven one of these recently on Sensible, sorry, on Tweed Jacket Reviews it was. It was a lot of fun. I think they actually are pretty good cars. This one's 40 to 50,000. TLC, yeah, the paint's a bit sort of kind of flat and things. This one's a manual. The one I drove was a 5-speed manual. This is probably the 4-speed manual, which is a little bit less easy to use. But yeah, you know, just, I mean, ideally you could do a respray, but it probably could do some mopping or something. Right, Capri time again, viewers. Someone's been a member of the Quick International, a 3-litre S, fantastic, 79 to 80 on a V. Very, very kind of almost professional spec, collar check interior, 4-speed gearbox. That is rather nice. 20 to 25,000 pounds. Yes. Can't remember the name of this colour now. I won't say anything, I guess I get it wrong. 1971 Sunbeam Rapier Fastback. Oh, I'll have a look at this. 10 to 15,000. Bare metal respray. Excellent. Very sort of underrated, these cars. Based on the same platform as Hillman Hunter, but a bit more sporty. I like that one. Vanden Plough 4-litre R. Yep, don't get into comments and tell me I'm saying it wrong. There are 3 different ways of saying it. They're all correct. If you complain about it, your comment gets removed. How about? Right, 65 Vanden Plough Princess 4-litre R, 10 to 12,000 pounds. That is it's rather nice. That's a show-winning example. It seems quite cheap to me. And we've got another P6 here. The paint's a bit flat on this. It could do being done up, but that's okay. 5 to 8,000 pounds. Sensible Circling Plastics money. Excellent. All proceeds to Prostate Cancer UK. Fantastic. That's good. That's a very sporting thing to do. It's like tobacco leaf or something of that colour. I can't remember. So P6 to P5. I like this cream interior. Yes, P5B. Estimate 10 to 12,000 pounds. Recent bodywork restoration. That looks pretty good. I mean, I want to see an even cheaper one, but you know, that's not bad. That'll do. Fiat 500L, right-hand drive as well. This one. I wonder if this is expensive. It is 10 to 12,000. UK supplied right-hand drive. Well, with one other Cinquecento actually. This. Because there was the other Cinquecento before the war and after the war. It was a Topolino. MGB GT V8 74. This is an original one rather than the modified V8 one that I drove earlier this year, which was an absolute monster and really terrifying. This one probably would be a bit less terrifying if it's the original spec, 18 to 22,000 pounds, with the most 70s looking seats you've ever seen in your life. Yeah. Fantastic. Ooh. Oh my gosh, viewers, I love these. An Alfa Romeo, I think they're called the Giulietta Sprint, these were. It's not the SS version, the Sprint Speciale, it's just a Sprint, but we'll have to go around them more, actually, we'll have to go around to, yeah, Giulietta Sprint, sorry, not the Giulietta, but the Giulietta Sprint, but the Giulietta Sprint was a bit later. 59, 35 to 40,000 pounds, excellent. Now, one of the things about Morris Minors is that you might think they are rare, but they're not. There's like 15,000 of them in the country or something. They're not rare, which probably explains why this one, which looks okay, it's not perfect or anything, is only estimated at 6,000 to 8,000 pounds. It could do with a bit of a clean, to be honest, this one. Split screens. The one-piece screens came in about 1956. So this is an 803cc car. Also with a small engine is this Rover 100. It's been a 95 Rover 111. Very early one of these. That's actually just a facelift of the Rover Metro, but you've got to be careful with these. A lot of people call them Metros, and they're not. They are Rover 100s, although the name Rover 100 was used in other countries for the Metro before 1995. So the absolute base model, flame red, so flat red, 2,000 to 3,000 pounds. Paint's not the best I've seen, but you just mop that, it'd be a bit better. A bit more expensive is this 1930 Humber 1650 Saloon. Estimate 12 to 15,000. Again, it's not really my sort of thing, this, but you know, it's an impressive car, isn't it? Oh gosh, this is early. Aston 1850. This will be from somewhere else. Yeah, South Africa. Didn't call them the Austin 7. or the Mini originally. They called the Austin 850 for reasons. 1959, the third oldest surviving South African built Mini. Registration for some reason is FTR 204D. Maybe it was imported in 1966, who knows. Let's actually look at some more Mini. Let's go this way. 1993 Mini Rio. That's from 7,000 miles on the clock. Wow, crazy. That says 10 to 12,000 pounds. It's not, again, my sort of thing. I've driven a couple of classic Minis, I just don't find them very comfortable. So it's not for me, but loads of people like them, don't they? Contrast here is this really early, obviously in this country they're called the 7 until 1961. So this will have all the early features like the cable operated interior door handles, the house style exterior door handles, the choke lever that's down in the middle I think somewhere, door that doesn't close properly. Yeah, it's 59. 18 to 22,000, wavy grille, all sorts of things. Typical of early colour for them too. Is this by any chance a Lamborghini Countach, viewers? No, it's not. It's a replica one. It's all over here. Oh, okay. It's GB Racing 500S Countach replica. Bit cheaper than a normal one. So it's got a Rover 3.9 V8 in it from like an MGR V8 or something. 20 to 25,000 pounds. Hard to value something like that, isn't it? Right, okay, next is a Fintail or Heckflosser Mercedes. Say a 220 SE. I forget how big these things are. They are absolutely huge. Be on a 64 plate on a B. Done some rallying, I take it. Yeah, it is 12 to 14,000. And it is a 64 actually. 2005 Jagua S-Type R. 8 to 10,000. A low mileage and ownership, 51,000 miles. Yeah, why not? Somehow I'm kind of more intrigued by this Mark II Ford Granada. The reason is that this is not a gear. Most of the surviving facelift Mark II Granadas I've seen are actually gears. So a GL is quite rare. With a 2.8, the automatic gearbox was almost all of them. The 5-speed manuals are quite rare. This is a really late one. It would have been made in 85, registered in 86. For some reason, they didn't offer a Mark III Granada in estate form until about 1992. So, yeah, people kept buying these Mark IIs over they could, 80 to 20,000 pounds. Yeah, that makes sense. It's got 24,000 miles on the clock. You just move around here. A Volvo 262C. These are very, very rare. I don't even know if they sold them over here actually. 10 to 12,000 pounds. Not bad. It's not expensive actually. American import. Indicated mileage is less than 63,000. You can see the roof has been significantly lowered from like a normal 264. It's a stiff door handle. But the interior still looks a bit like the old 240 estate the mother had in the 90s, which was an 89. Yeah, that is extraordinary. Also extraordinary, different reasons. This is MG Metro Turbo. Most powerful of all the A Series Metros. Very late one. On a G. It's an 89, yeah. 47,000 miles white diamond, 10 to 12,000. So you can either have this Volvo or you can have this MG Metro for the same price. The rest of it. And then the same price again is this 1996 Renault Clio Williams Phase 3. Entry level. Is entry level really £10,000 to £12,000? I mean, I've never paid that much for a classic car. Maybe some of you have. I don't know. TW on this Escort Model 3 Cabriolet was a registration combination often used in press or fleet cars. So maybe Ford UK registered it themselves. I don't know. Very sort of Dempsey and Mate piece. That gear knob is actually incorrect. Never mind. £4,000 to £5,000. Yeah, that sounds sort of right to me. I don't know whether those are upgrade wheels or they just are as turbo wheels. I don't know. Oh, a Talbot Avenger. Still with a Pentastar on the logo. The Talbot badge wasn't actually applied to these cars until very, very near the end in sort of 81. I've driven a Chrysler Avenger, which is very similar to this. Also in 1.6 form. This is a special Saloon. £3,000 to £5,000. Yeah, certainly for second-hand classics money for sure. The one I drove was a little bit higher spec than this one. It had sort of headrest and things, I think. And a few more things in centre console. I actually really like these. I think they're lovely cars to drive. And they're not very common either. They tend to rust quite badly, like everything at the time. 1971 to 72 Triumph Stag. This one's an auto, like the one that I drove back in 2023. And yeah, the same sort of colour. This is £8,000 to £10,000. Looks pretty good. I'm always amazed how cheap Stags actually are. £10,000 to £12,000 again. There's to be tons of cars with that sort of price here today. It's this BMW 2002. It is a 1976, this one. A lot of people would say that actually that's a better car to have than the Stag. It depends on your point of view, really, I suppose. Whether your Stag's been kind of fully sort of done up so the engine doesn't misbehave. Yeah. My father-in-law had one of those and it blew up on the motorway with my lady wife was in it or something. Which was very small at the time. 1968, I think, Jagua 240, which was a sort of run-out edition of the Mark II with simplified trim and things. Yeah, 68, 12 to 15,000. That is actually in really nice condition. Beautiful. And then we've got a Lancia Flavia Vignale in right-hand drive. 68, 36 to £42,000. I'm not surprised it is that much, because that is a beautiful car. Back from the days when Lancia were independent. Funny rear lights. 1997, 1998 Alfa Romeo GTV 3-litre V6 Busso. Yes, Busso and Lusso, because Busso refers to the engine. £6,000 to £8,000. They are a right nightmare to service these engines though. They are very, very difficult. But when they sound that good, it might be worth it, I don't know. MGB, it's rather nice. Features a nice beige leather interior with some wood. 1970, sympathetically upgraded, a stylish colour combination. Yeah, I'd say so. My Ivo is drawn, again 10 to 12,000 as so many of these cars are, to this Honda S2000. I think I'd kind of prefer this. It would be a little bit easier to drive. MGBs are actually quite easy for sort of this stage, but this is even easier and it goes a bit faster, so perhaps this is more kind of me. And then we've got an R107 SL, which is a 500 SL, yeah, relatively late for one of these. They finished around 89, this is an 87. 30 to £40,000. It's gone up a little bit from the last car. Can we walk through here without getting stuck? Yes. 1990. Next model on the R129 300 SL. Quite an early one actually. Came up a year before. 10 to 12,000 again. In great order. I don't know. I think that's good, but I prefer the older one. Sort of reversal from last time for you. DB7 Vantage for Lante. So there we go. It's been quite a late one actually. It looks like it's quite different inside from the early DB7s. Yes, 2001, that's why. 420 horsepower and a V12 engine. Fantastic. More MGB action. This one's had the bumpers taken off. It doesn't look too bad actually. Not much to say about it. 66, 10 to 12,000. Can we get around here without knocking stuff over? Yes, we can. 1948 Jagua 2.5 litre Saloon. 30 to 35,000. Gosh, these post-war Jaguars seem to be expensive. And the last one for this part, another P6. In fact, this looks in superb order, this one. Wow. I wonder what this one's going up for. This is 3500S. 75 in Monza Red. Wonderful. Right. We've still got plenty to look at in this haul, so thank you ever so much indeed once again for watching. Please don't forget to subscribe to the channel, like this video, leave a comment below, and we shall see you again in part 3 for more incorrect information.